And for your viewing pleasure, I'm going to run a collection of my captures of these fake planes, these hologram planes, these ghost planes, these demon drones, or that they're interdimensional. Call them what you will. What they are for sure is freaky. So I originally thought that they were projected, and they may be. I mean, I don't know what they are. You know, at one point I was thinking they were military, and they may be that too. But whatever it is, it's a technology that doesn't allow your electronics like cameras to focus in on it. It won't let you see the true identity of it, although it looks like it wants you to, it wants you to think it's a plane at times. So this is very bizarre technology, or I haven't ruled out it's demonic in nature or some kind of entity. Some of them, because they're all a bit different, it seems. Oh, and for the scoffers and the people that say that this is some kind of camera anomaly stuff, let me tell you, you film enough of these things and you film enough regular planes and you'll get the feeling of what's going on, and you can tell it's obvious that there's something different about these. I'm going to be jumping around a bit on this video, so with that, let's get on with it. Hey you guys, how's it going? Now this video is a different video. It is intended for those out there, acquaintances, relatives, whoever it may be, business associates, that wonder what happened to Tracy. What happened to Tracy? Because a lot of people, I think, you probably think I've lost my ever-loving mind by, starting this channel. Well, what happened is an awakening to the fact that we've been lied to all our lives, especially in the schools. And it's infuriating that the schools are still lying and indoctrinating kids to these lies that we've been told all our lives. I've been in the process of deprogramming from all the indoctrination that's been impressed on me for all these years. So bear with me and I'll try to explain how this happened. I was documenting the skies and the chemtrailers, and the skies starting to look crazier and crazier. Not long after I started doing that, I got smacked upside the head with the 2x4 called the Mandela effect, and that really threw me for a loop because, regardless of what people say out there, there's a lot of us experiencing this phenomenon, and it's just unreal. But it is what it is, and it's pretty crazy. But I'm going to talk about it some. Also, I was well aware that by starting this channel, doing what I'm doing, that it was going to cause some people to distance themselves from me. That was just something I was going to have to accept, and because I felt a purpose, I felt a need, I felt like I should be doing this. But for me to fully explain, I have to talk about the Mandela effect. Now, before I get into even talking about this Mandela effect stuff, I'm sure there's those out there in the sky watching community that would prefer I didn't talk about this at all. But to be clear, I don't think it's a good thing. I hate it. I have tried to get away from it, but it just finds me everywhere I turn. I see it. So it's one of them things that I can't get away from it. I've tried. I don't like it. It's not been anything but, distress throughout the whole 3 to 4 years that it's been plaguing my life. But it has had a profound effect on me. So that's why I talk about it. And for those that don't want to hear it, you don't have to listen to it. I don't even talk to my kids about this Mandela effect. Although I did ask Sky, my daughter, sent her a text message and said, ask your mom about the Prince song. And it was just like a breadcrumb thing. I didn't mention Mandela effect, nothing. I just said, ask her, dearly beloved, we are gathered here to blank this thing we call life. I hadn't got no answer yet back on that, by the way, but I hadn't pushed it because I've been leaving this stuff alone because I don't want to blow people's worlds up, But if she answered, I'm almost certain she would say, celebrate, not get through this thing we call life. She would say, celebrate this thing. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here to celebrate this thing we call life. That was absolutely it. No ifs, ands, or buts, no doubt about it. I never heard back from her, but then a couple of years later, I was surprised. I get a text message from her, from my daughter Sky. She says, Dad, Ed McMahon was the one that delivered the checks for Publisher Clearinghouse, right? The big checks. I was like, absolutely, 100%. And then she said, have you heard of the Mandela effect? So she sees most of the same ones I do. And, the Ed McMahon one was a big one for her. There's a bunch of big ones for me with the JFK 6-seater or, that whole thing. That was the one that, that was so profound for me. I mean, it really, it woke me up. Anyway, so regarding the JFK thing, now this is for those that don't know what the Mandela effect is. I know that most of you watching this channel do, but I'm talking to a specific group right now. If you've never heard of it, okay, if you grew up with seeing the Zapruder film many times, and there was 4 people in that car, then you should definitely, I highly recommend you go look up the Zapruder film, because it'll blow your mind, just like it did mine back when all this stuff blew up. I mean, it's been like over 3 years now, so time's going by so fast, it doesn't seem that long, but it's been a little bit. And if you do remember it that way, you'll likely go down the rabbit hole just as I did, and that rabbit hole is deep and wide. So I started out with these chemtrails. I was filming these things, and that was just, that was pretty infuriating, right? And these chem webs that fall from the sky. Go back and look at a couple of my videos. I think I got one, chem webs rains down on us all, or nanofibers rains down on us all, something like that. You'll find it. There's a couple of them out there that I've captured this stuff coming down, and it comes down on me when I go to the mailbox. I mean, I hadn't done it in a long time, but there for a while it was a regular thing. So when those type of things happen, yes, it will get your attention, and it'll make you go to research. And what is this stuff they're spraying? What is this stuff, that I'm breathing? Why are my allergies bothering me so now? Why, where they never did before? But that's when I was investigating that, which, by the way, they're real for yous out there that say they're not. I mean, even the evil reptilian lizard man, John Brennan, come out and talked about it. So, I mean, it's out there, and it's... they're doing it anyway. That's investigating. That's when I ran into the Mandela effect. First it was like, well, yeah, Febreze. I mean, yeah, that seems weird, and the other ones too. The Jiffy peanut butter especially. But the Kennedy thing, when I seen that, that's what sent me down the rabbit hole, because it was a mind blower for me. I'll give one more example: the pyramids in Egypt. There's so many changing, and that thing keeps changing. Every time I see it, it's like closer to the town. I mean, it's going to be in the middle of Cairo if it keeps on. But there's so many things different about that. You just have to check into it. Trust me, that one's a huge one. So if you hadn't heard of the Mandela effect, it would make this video too long to go over that. So that's something you can check out on your own. At least spend a couple of hours, really look into it. Then you might understand. You may not. I don't know. What happened? Why does Tracy seem different? Well, this is it. My world's been turned upside down. History is not the same as what I grew up. Things are changing. Those that don't see it or don't want to see it, I don't even try to talk to people about this outside of YouTube, because I don't want to blow the world up. I don't want to cause them any psychological stress or whatever, because it does do that. Now, to understand what happened to Tracy is going to require a few hours of research, or at least some research, to fully understand, a few hours at minimum to really understand what's going on. It's been 3 years, so there's over 3 years actually, so there's this is just a drop in a bucket. This is a few examples, and some of these are the smaller ones. It's the big ones that really turn my world upside down. But research Mandela effect, Prince. If you thought he said, "Dearly beloved, we're gathered here to celebrate this thing called life," then you will experience the Mandela effect. If you thought Joan Jett in I Love Rock and Roll said, "I saw him standing there by the record machine," if that's what you remember, then you will experience the Mandela effect. Look them up. Type in Mandela effect, Joan Jett, Mandela effect, Prince, Mandela effect, Queen. We are the champions. There's so many of them, but those are just a few. And then I'm going to go on to just give you a few examples of how they've, affected me and turned my world upside down. I'll give you a quick example, and this is one of the smaller ones. This is just one of them that puzzled us right at the beginning of this whole thing, which, it was the big ones like the Kennedy car, the 6 people in the car that we all remember. There was 4. But Jiffy peanut butter. When I was a kid, I ate Jiffy peanut butter. I ate a lot of it. I ate it I had to even eat it with syrup. I loved it so much. So that us kids ate Jiffy. My mother says that's what she fed us as kids, was Jiffy. My brother and my sister both remember eating Jiffy. So there's 4 of us right there. Anyway, that's an example of the Mandela effect. It's always been Jif. Yet we had Jiffy as kids, so history has changed on us. But are we to believe people that we don't even know that say, oh, you're misremembering or you're confabulating? No. There's 4 solid memories right there that totally 100% had Jiffy peanut butter. Back in the 70s, I don't know when it changed to Jif, because it's been that way for a while, but we definitely had Jiffy when we was kids. But that wasn't even the one that really sealed it for me. It was the Kennedy car, and that same thing. All of us said 4 people, no doubt about it, So yeah, that one really hit hard. Okay, I'll share one more because this one had an impact on us all too. We all remember, of course, we grew up watching I Love Lucy. All of us did. I mean, that's just a part of our history. And we all agree. Ricky said, Lucy, you got some explaining to do. Absolutely, he said that. Not only that, Ricky's name was Desi Arnaz, and now it's Desi Arnaz. It's just all weird stuff, but that's part of it. That was a pretty interesting one, that one, and Jiffy peanut butter. There's so many more. Billy Graham, we watched his funeral way back, and yet he only died years ago, so that one is, there's also that aspect of it. And in the continents, they're not in the same place. Look where Australia's at. It used to be isolated, and it goes on and on and on, but that's it. Now, what's causing it? No one knows. An awful lot of people think that CERN and D-Wave computers combined is somehow responsible for this Mandela effect. Okay, the Joan Jett song, I Love Rock and Roll. I saw him standing there by the record machine. I saw him standing there by the record machine. Remember that? Yeah. He's not standing there no more. I mean, the beat's still going strong, still playing her favorite song, but he's not standing there more. What? Maybe he's sitting there. I don't know. But anyway, the Moneybags video. If you want to know what it is, just check out his video. The link's in the description. That one's pretty well. My jaw dropped on that one. I mean, that one is like 1,000%. That changed for sure. Some of them, that's just the way it is. The ones that hit you hard. But that's the first one in a while, that's really been a solid one. There's been a lot of iffy ones, but it makes me wonder if things aren't starting up again. And the Schumann resonance is still acting all crazy and stuff. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see on that, but I have a feeling we're going to be seeing more of these crazy Mandela effects. Those that laugh at us are the deniers or the debunkers of the Mandela effect. Once you experience it, you won't be laughing anymore. I can tell you that much. You'll be researching. And on a different note, a couple of the lies that we've been told, I believe that bug me the most, of course, is the moon. Anyone that checks into that and really takes the time to look into it, there's good proof that we never went to the moon. There's just too much stuff out there, too much evidence, and no evidence that we went. And the shape of the earth, okay? That I don't have a problem with the shape of the earth. I really don't care what shape it is. I just have an issue with the spinning ball and all this twirling and spinning and flying through space at all these crazy astronomical numbers, And then, of course, the sun is, 93 million miles away, right? That's what they tell us. Yeah, you can look at it and film it and stuff, and it's obvious it's not that far. And then the moon, of course, isn't near as far as they say it is. It's actually local. Our atmosphere is pushed out, which we just found this out, and so the moon is now inside our Earth's atmosphere, which is very weird. But yeah, they said the atmosphere extends out further. Therefore, that's how they explain it anyway. Who knows? So the bottom line is, I am awake to the supernatural paradigm shift that's going on, and I'm just documenting my way through it and sharing it with others, because it's pretty astonishing, some of the things we're seeing in this world we live in today. That's why I have been documenting stuff, because it's so bizarre and strange. It's almost as if I'm living in a different world. It's as crazy as that sounds. So I'll share these things, sometimes give my opinion. Now, it's opinions and it's speculations. The stuff that I capture and I share with you guys, that is a result of just many hours of film. And I've got so much footage. I mean, if I wanted to do a video every day, I could make it happen. I got plenty of material. I just try to pick out the best stuff to share with you guys. So it takes shooting a lot of footage to, if you want to catch something interesting, you got to be shooting a lot. It just, you just don't point it there and it happens. Now, sometimes you have a feeling, though, you want to go take a look outside, and then you see something. It's like, you get that feeling, wow, I was supposed to see that. So there's a little bit of that in there too, which is pretty cool. I feel like this is what I'm supposed to be doing, honestly. So I have a drive and a passion for it, and I want to get the word out, and I want people to wake up and start looking up, and and start realizing the lies and the indoctrination of our children and all these crazy things. We live in a world where they want to abort babies after they're born. I mean, when I heard that, my scalp just blew off my head. I thought, where am I at? Where? And it's just so crazy. And then you got little Desmond Amazing, a little drag boy, like 10 years old or something, out there, dancing in a gay strip bar, and the men are throwing dollars at him. This is, and he was featured on Good Morning America, and they were propping him up. It was just sickening. And that's the world we're in right now. So yeah, but I feel like I'm just doing my thing, staying in my lane, and trying to get the word out as much as I can. Now, I got it off my chest. It's not like anybody has said anything or anything like that. Nope, nothing like that. It's just, you can tell. You can tell when people are just, they're distancing themselves from you. And you're in your mind, you're like, yeah, they're probably laughing and making jokes and stuff. Some the acquaintances from the past, but that's okay. That's okay. I mean, it is what it is, and I shall continue on. All the lies will be exposed in time. The veil is being lifted. Don't even get me started on 5G and AI. And AI, artificial intelligence, that's going to spiral. That's the beast system rising. Elon Musk, where'd this guy even come from, man? He is, he says next year they're going to start doing the implants of this Neuralink, where they're going to fix people with Parkinson's and stuff, and neurological diseases and things like that. I mean, this is like, are you kidding me? We are living in the sci-fi, in case you don't know. Anyway, on a different note, the tagline at the bottom of my videos, it serves a couple of purposes. One, it acts as a watermark. And by the way, anybody can mirror my videos or use my clips. All I ask is that they leave the tag in place. Here's the thing. The time that I put in to make these videos, it takes time, and this time is time that I'm neglecting my business. So I have to find a medium, to be able to do both and still pay bills. So the domain slimdown.net, it links to the company that I've been with for 23 years, and we offer what I believe is the best herbal health products on the market. So it's a win-win. It's something that I proudly promote. Besides, I've been sharing these products for the last 20 plus years, and why wouldn't I share them with the people on YouTube? They're good quality products. They help people. We have, anything from detoxification like Corella. We have Claudio Silver, all the way to energy and weight loss products. So if any of that stuff is part of your regimen or interests you, and you want to help support this channel, please do shop at slimdown.net. Or you can call home office 1-800-426-4267. Tell them Tracy Garrison sent you. I believe we have the best Corella on the market,
and they're in small tablets, so they're easy to take. That's why I like them, because you don't have to chew them up. The ones I used to get from the store, you had to chew them things up. Ours are small, so you can take how many of you need. And we also have the Colloidal Silver, comes in a huge bottle and it's very reasonably priced. And we also have weight loss and energy products that are the best out there you'll find. So that's it, and I know most of you understand and don't mind this at all, but that's the way it has to be. That's the only way I can continue to do the videos, is if I do strike a balance, so I don't neglect my business and lose. I'm losing money on my business doing this, and to come to the point where it's like, oh, you're going to have to do something. Either stop doing the videos and focus on your business, or find a way to make it work together. So that's it for my shameless plug. And as far as myself, well, you can call me crazy, you can call me conspiracy theorist, you can even call me a flat earther. I'm not going to be offended, although that's not exactly what I believe. I mean, if you want to know what I believe, read Genesis, the creation there, and that's my view right there, and I stick with that 100%. And I hope that clears up any questions anybody might have. Doubt if it changed anybody's mind, but it's okay. It is what it is. Links are in the description for some of these Mandela effects I talked about in this video. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for hearing me out. I appreciate it. And love to all of y'all. Y'all take care. God bless.